Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to the Fangoria Movie Challenge. Now, this is a segment I'm doing with my good buddy Joe, where we're not only going to watch, but also review all 101 movies Fangoria thinks we should have seen. Today, we're going to be talking about Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is a 1982 film which runs approximately 91 minutes and is written and directed by, oh my lord, Wes Craven. Wes Craven unfortunately passed away on August the 30th, 2015, at the age of 76, I believe. He was responsible for A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Hills Have Eyes, and My Soul to Take. This stars Louis Jordan as Arcane. He passed away on February 14th, 2015, at the age of 93. He was in Octopussy, Gigi, and Counterforce. Adrienne Barbeau as Alice Cable. She was in The Fog, Creepshow, and Escape from New York. And Ray Wise as Dr. Alex Holland. He was in Jeepers Creepers 2, Dead End, and Tone Deaf. Now the budget is $3 million. And Louis Jordan's son died during filming. That must have been really tough to go on coming to a job when your son had just passed away. Now, Joe and I decided to do a little something different with this. I'm not really going to get into the story of this film because everyone should know about the Swamp Thing by now. I'll give a brief synopsis and then I'll tell you what Joe and I did that was a little different with this film. You have Alec Holland, who is a botanist that is working in the swamps to try to create serums in order to make more vegetation in order to feed people. Very passionate. And he ends up creating this formula that is not only an accelerant, but also an explosive. Then you have your villain, who's Arcane, who has men that want Alec Holland's formula. They bust in, an explosion happens in the lab. Dr. Holland gets the stuff all over him, catches on fire, and turns into the Swamp Thing. That's pretty much all I'm going to tell. I didn't really spoil anything, so if you haven't watched this movie, please do. This is a lot of fun. Okay, what Joe and I did that was a little bit different on this film was we actually watched the director's cut. It's actually a European cut. And oddly enough, even though this wasn't out in theaters, I saw the European cut in theaters. I don't know whether they made a mistake in the reels, they got the wrong film, I'm not really sure. But what the European cut means is about 4 more minutes of flesh. Yes, that's right. This was a PG movie back then because there wasn't PG yet. And we get topless scenes of Adrienne Barbeau, which I remember very vividly seeing in theaters, and also some other topless scenes of other girls when they were having their party. Now, what's weird is when I rented this on VHS years ago, that was nowhere to be found. And I talked to Joe about it. I must have rented the Thorny MI video, which was the cut version. I saw it on cable. That was the cut version. So I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? Did I just dream up Adrienne Barbeau's boobs? Which is very possible because I find her quite attractive, always have. But no, that's actually not the case. Because there was a European cut that showed her topless. So I was not actually crazy. I actually saw what I saw, and they made a mistake at the movie theater. So that's my story. My father actually took me to see this when I was a little kid. Of course, we went to see superhero films, which this was kind of supposed to be. Now, my father was more into Marvel. He liked Thor, the Hulk, stuff like that. But I did have a couple Swamp Thing comics from when I was a little kid. So I think he kind of liked him too a little bit. So he did take me to see this like first week it came out when I was younger, and I loved every minute of it. Now, Joe and I commented a lot on this film as we were watching it. I still think the costume holds up. The guy that plays the Swamp Thing is actually Dick Durock. He played him in the sequel and in the television series. I don't know if he played him in the cartoon. I can't remember that far back. Yeah, and I haven't seen the cartoon in years. So, but yeah, this is a fantastic, fantastic movie. Now, here's something to kind of tickle your brain a little bit, I guess. If you're interested in getting the European cut, you have to buy the 88 films Blu-ray. This has the theatrical cut on DVD, but the European cut on Blu-ray. Not to mention it has this nifty wraparound or reversible artwork. Really cool. Now, they did release the European cut on some of the MGM VHSs way back in the day. And they did have a short run of MGM DVDs that did have the nudity before they fixed the problem. Not that it's really a problem, because after all, it is Adrienne Barbeau's boobs. Yeah. So definitely check this one out. I'm going to pair this with, you guessed it, Return of the Swamp Thing. This and I have a kind of a checkered past. While I do like Jim Wynorski, I didn't really want to see this when it came out because Adrienne Barbeau was replaced with Heather Locklear. Not that that's a problem, but I just thought, when I was younger, these two had such a great chemistry that it kind of irritated me a little bit that they replaced her. Now, of course, they didn't replace the character. Heather Locklear played Arcane's niece, if I remember correctly. But this was a recent watch for me. Because I had had a problem with it for so many years, I never really wanted to bother to see it. So, I ended up finding it at a thrift store, which the DVD is kind of hard to find. They did release this on the MVD Rewind. Who knows? Maybe I'll upgrade. I do have the Blu-ray of Swamp Thing. This is not as good as the original, but it is a lot of fun. Where this one is more of not a serious movie. There's a lot of goofy stuff in this as well. This is pure goof, and it's just a lot of fun. So, definitely check out The Swamp Thing. Definitely check out Return of the Swamp Thing. And don't forget to check out Joe's review and see what he picked as a relatable recommendation. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.